Yo guys, it's Slyroh. You already know that today I'm bringing you guys my team analysis for Week 9 of the Pokemon Premier League. This week we're taking on Evelyn, also known as H2W9, and the Herdier Bremen. We are getting towards the tail end of the season, and we do have a lot to get into today. So I will be going over the team that I'm bringing against Evelyn this week. But before we get to that, let's start out at the league table like we always do. And we right now are in 7th place, which is okay. However, it's looking closer to not okay. As you see right here with the Pittsburgh Pyroar, we're right here. Nice in 4 wins, 4 losses, differential of 0. So we're basically the most consistent team that there is. We are consistently mediocre. But yeah, so we're going to try and get at least one more win. I think if we get one win for the rest of the season, it'll put us in a good spot to not end up in the bottom 3. For those of you guys that don't know, I think I've already went over it before, but those who finish in 11th and 12th place will automatically be relegated to Division 2 next season. Those 2 spots look like they're pretty much already claimed, and even if not, it would be really tough for Colton and the Osaka EVs to work their way out of that. I think Evelyn's spot in D2 is basically guaranteed. However, 10th place is still kind of up for grabs. The person 10th place, the FC Eviton, they have 3 wins, 5 losses, so that's only 1 win less than us. That means that this spot for 10th place is wide open. So, we need to make sure that we do everything in our power to not end up in 10th place. We are completely, basically out of the race from winning the league or anything like that. So our goal now is to just do our best to not end up in 10th place, as well as I've already been stating, if we get one more win, then we'll have more wins than we had last season. So that's always a goal. And if we get 2 more wins, then we will end the season with a winning record, which will be great. So that's kind of our goals, and we have on table wise, you would think that we have a pretty good rest of the season schedule. But we're going to talk about the race the match that we have this week, which is against Evelyn, the Herdier Bremen. They have not won a single game. They have 0 wins, 8 losses, a minus 25 differential. That looks really bad on paper. However, I've seen Evelyn's matches. She's not a bad player by any stretch of the imagination, and I do fully believe that she'll get a win by the end of the season. However, this match is pretty scary. Her team is pretty scary, as well as now that she doesn't really have much to play for, I guess, other than just a win. She could really bring anything. It's really a wild card. She doesn't have to do anything safe, so whereas we kind of do. So it'll be interesting to see if she brings anything ridiculous. Now, there was also a transfer window, which I need to go over, because if you look at the MVP race, if it has been updated, okay, Mega Blasters is still there as there, but okay, maybe it wasn't updated, or maybe that just didn't get taken out. Basically, I will bring up a picture of my team here. Let's go over to the team that I'm bringing for Evelyn, so you can see all of the changes here. Let me just close it out there. So we're going to bring up my team, and the first transfer that I made was dropping Mega Blastoise and Crustle, and I got Greninja. Now, this is only Torrent Greninja. We can't have Protein Greninja, and Torrent Greninja has been allowed all season, just nobody grabbed it. However, I decided that coming into these last few matches, I'm going to be taking on some teams that have really good, fast offensive threats, and Greninja just outspeeds all of them. So, and I didn't really have speed, and Mega Blastoise has the potential to put in work. However, I've been really hesitant on bringing it just because it's slower, and that's the main reason. It gets worn down pretty easily. It has to switch into a hit, and then it has to try and get off a big hit, just because that's like natural bulk. Whereas Greninja is just straight up like really fast, kind of wall breaker, sweeper type deal that I can use really well. So I'm really excited about using Greninja. That was the first one, and that was going to be the only one. However, just like the last transfer window, we got Kyurem through a last-minute trade. Spur of the moment. Shadi was like, "Hey, anybody want Kyurem?" So we got it. This time, RTK kind of left a message of the Portland Timbers, and he was just like, "Hey, if anybody wants to offer me a trade, hit me up." and I have been eyeing Rotom Heat for a really long time. Rotom Heat was something that I'd considered drafting. I was really close to drafting it, and I think the only reason I didn't was mostly due to the budget, basically. So yeah, but we got Rotom Heat on our team. Basically what this was is I didn't have anything of equal value for Rotom Heat, but I really wanted it. So what the trade ended up being is, of course, Rotom Heat and Scrafty for Lantern and Conkeldurr. Now, this seems really bad for me because Lantern and Conkeldurr have been mons that put in so much work for me. I absolutely love both of them, and I love Mega Blastoise as well. All three of them are fantastic mons in the league format. I don't think I had quite the right team support for Mega Blastoise. Conkeldurr has done everything that I've needed to do up to this point. For the next couple matchups, I don't necessarily need Conkeldurr. I do need like a fighting type, and we'll get into why Scrafty can actually help me a little bit more this match than Conkeldurr could. But I just think that it wasn't necessary, and I needed to give up some more value to get Rotom Heat. Lantern, I just wanted to make sure I got an electric type back. I still have Volt Switch, and I still have good natural bulk, as well as Rotom Heat gets more recovery than Lantern does. And it gives me a fire type, which I haven't had the past couple weeks. And I just really think that Rotom Heat is going to put in a whole ton of work. So this is going to be the team entering the final stretch of the season. There are no more transfer windows, and it's pretty sad that the only remaining original draft members on my team are Scizor, Gardevoir, and Kecleon. That's it. So 3 Pokemon still remain from the original draft. So that's not really what I envisioned, but going by the fact that I've been looking at like a 2-week block of like what I think I should get, that's kind of how my team has evolved. But I think it's a really good team now. Like I don't know. I think my team is like fantastic right now. And these 6 that I'm bringing against Evelyn, I'm so hyped to be able to use this combination of 6. So let's go ahead and finally move on to the team that I'm bringing specifically for Evelyn. So now I'm going to bring up Evelyn's team. And as you can see, her team consists of a lot of threats, and they include Darmanitan, Virizion, Zapdos, Feraligatr, Druddigon, Snorlax, Magnezone, Liepard, Musharna, and Oddish. Oddish, of course, being the biggest threat of all time. But honestly, the thing that stands out to me is she has a lot of physical attackers. She, in her transfer window, actually dropped Donphan, an old friend of ours, as well as Roserade, which I'm so happy I don't have to go against a Roserade just because those things are scary. And she picked up Virizion and Magnezone. Virizion I'm less scared of, however it could still put in work if I'm not careful. And Magnezone can do a surprising amount to our team, so I definitely need to look out for that. As for what she's going to bring, it could really be any combination. I don't think Oddish is coming. I think if she really wants to try and win a game, she won't bring Oddish. And I feel like Oddish is one of those, she's brought it to people that she knows like really well. And while I do know and I do talk to Evelyn, I don't feel like I know her that well that she would go so far as to bring an Oddish against me because she thinks it's that funny. Maybe she could prove me wrong, I don't know. But I don't think Oddish is coming. And I don't know, I just have this feeling that Magnezone's coming, and I feel like she's just going to have to leave off some of those attackers. Maybe Snorlax, maybe Virizion. Maybe she'll only bring one of the electric types. Maybe she won't bring Magnezone or Zapdos. I don't really know. I don't really know her thought process when it comes to deciding which 6 she's going to bring. So I did my best to just prepare for all of them. However, she doesn't have that many special attackers. They include Zapdos, Magnezone, and Musharna, and I guess Oddish, if you want to count that. That's basically her special attackers. I guess Virizion could be special, but that would be super not a threat against my team. Physical Virizion is way more of a threat. So I can actually just rely on my natural special bulk. With the transfers that I made, I have a lot of natural special bulk. A lot. I think I have, I don't know, between, let's see, Gardevoir, Meloetta, that didn't show up, Rotom Heat, Kecleon, Scrafty, they all have special defense stats of over 100. Kyurem has a really good defenses on both sides, so we have good natural special defense that we can rely on, which means that we can tailor everything to deal with her physical threats. So the first Pokemon that I'm bringing that you can see before you is Man, the Rotom Heat. This is going to be a physically defensive Rotom Heat, max HP, max defense, bold nature with a Chardy Berry, with Volt Switch Volt Switch, Overheat, Thunderwave, and Pain Split. The very first threat on Evelyn's team is a Darmanitan. And before this trade, I didn't really have anything for Darmanitan. I would have had to rely on Lantern, I guess, and Conkeldurr, kind of. But none of them were really that reliable. Rotom Heat is pretty reliable. Darmanitan can't really do much to a physically defensive Rotom Heat. That, of course, the exception to that being Rock Slide, which she could definitely bring, because I also have a Kyurem which Rock Slide would hit. However, you know, there's a chance maybe she wouldn't bring it. I have no idea, because Superpower can hit a lot as well. I just don't really know where her what her 4 moves would be. So we just really need to scout for that. Rotom Heat can take everything that isn't a Rock Slide, and the Chardy Berry actually halves damage. Halves super effective Rock type moves. And physically defensive Rotom Heat, if it's something like a Jolly Scarf or even Adamant Scarf, I think Rock Slide without a berry does like 60%. So, you know, we'll be able to kind of tell, and maybe even be able to take a hit after the Chardy Berry is used. So we'll have to see. But the plan for this is if I can get in on Darmanitan, it goes for Rock Slide. I take that. I can go for a Thunder Wave, and if I just slow Darmanitan down, it's completely not a threat anymore. I have a lot of mons on my team that can do a lot of damage to it. My issue is just outspeeding it. So, and then I have Pain Split because I don't have leftovers, and I need recovery of some sort. Because Rotom Heat is going to be looked to deal with a lot of threats. I'm going to need it to deal with Virizion. I'm probably going to be looking for it to help deal with things like Dredagon or Snorlax, Liepard. So we're just going to have to see. You know, I need to try and keep this thing around for as long as I can. But this is the main physical wall. However, Rotom Heat just naturally also deals with Zapdos and Magnezone. They don't really get any moves that do a lot of damage to Rotom Heat, so, and I can do a lot of damage. I can do a lot of damage to Magnezone. I can do a decent amount of damage to Zapdos. Zapdos is going to be an issue for sure. But, yeah, so it naturally takes on the special attackers. I can take on the physical attackers pretty well. The only thing that my wall core for this battle doesn't really deal with is Feraligatr, per se. But we're just going to have to deal with that when we can. If I can Thunder Wave a Feraligatr, that'd be great as well. And then I can worry about that as well. My next mon, of course, going right to left. I don't know why I always end up going right to left. Because I need to save my secret weapons for the end. So, this next mon is going to be Invisibly the Kegleon, this time with a Life Orb. The Protean ability, of course, Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Sucker Punch, and Trick Room. Max HP, Max Attack, Adamant, the remaining 4 in Special Defense. Kegleon can do a lot of damage to her team. Evelyn's is another team that just a mixture of fighting and ice coverage can do so much. She doesn't have a lot to stop it. Feraligatr can take them, as well as Musharna can deal with them. However, neither really wants to deal with Sucker Punch. Musharna is going to be the biggest issue, but I don't want to bring Knockoff again. I don't know. I feel like if I brought Sucker Punch last week, it could have been better. You know, I'm not entirely sure. Last week was pretty interesting, but I just think Sucker Punch is a good thing, as well as Sucker Punch Life Orb from Kegleon does about 70% to Darmanitan. So, you know, add some Flare Blitz, Recoil, add, you know, whatever that she has. If I just get a little bit of chip damage, Kegleon can come in on Darmanitan like every time and Sucker Punch it to death. So, and I can also just Sucker Punch any other fast threats that she might have that could do a lot of damage. So, you know, we'll have to see. And I got Trick Room because her team is really fast, and you know, Kegleon, if I can get Drain Punch, Ice Punch, I can keep doing things. So of course I have the 0 IVs and speed, the Brave Nature. So, you know, it is what it is. I think Kegleon could put in a lot of work. We'll have to see exactly how well it does. But let's go ahead and just move on to the next one, which is going to be Hood Dragon the Scrafty. This is also being brought physically defensive, the max HP, max defense, Impish Nature with the 12 in attack. That's the optimal HP number and things like that. And things, Leftovers and Intimidate with Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Bulk Up. Okay, so it's actually pretty funny that Scrafty was actually a transfer that RTK got before he faced Evelyn and Raikkonen. He thought Scrafty would put in a lot of work. And now I have Scrafty, and the next two opponents I have are Evelyn and Raikkonen. So there's obviously a good reason why he wanted to get Scrafty for these two matches. And I think it's pretty much the same reason as to why I want to. Like I said, just a mixture of fighting and ice coverage does a lot to Evelyn's team. Thunder Punch hits for Alligator really, really hard. I may switch out Thunder Punch for Knockoff or Crunch or something like that just to hit Musharna. However, I don't think, Musharna would really come in on this thing, but we'll have to see. If Drain Punch does a lot to for Alligator, I may switch out Thunder Punch for Crunch or Knockoff. Probably Knockoff, just to be able to hit Musharna. And Bulk Up I think is really good because, like I said, she has a lot of physical attackers, so if I just get up a Bulk Up or two and she has no special attackers left, or maybe she just can't do a lot of damage, if I get up a couple Bulk Ups, I can just Drain Punch, Ice Punch, I can just do so much to her team. I have good natural special defense, so if she doesn't bring anything like ridiculous, she doesn't have like Specs, Zapdos, or if she Calm Mind, if I can prevent her from like Calm Minding, Baton Passing with Musharna, the Scrafty can rely on its good natural special defense bulk, and yeah, and so Bulk Up I think is really, really nice. I considered changing Bulk Up for a couple different moves like Rest or Protect or something like that, but I have the leftovers. I have Drain Punch. I think I have enough recovery, and I just have to hope that I don't I don't have Shed Skin, so I don't want to get burned. She doesn't really have anything that can burn me though. The main status that she can inflict is Paralyzation with Liepard or Musharna, or yeah, that's mainly it. So, but if she's one of those that brings like a Will-O-Wisp, Darmanitan, for things to switch in. But if she expects Rotom Key to be the switch in, then she wouldn't. So we'll just have to play around that. But I think Bulk Up could be really good. So we'll see how that works out. I think I might change Thunder Punch. So I'll let you know before the match starts. Now we start moving into. These two are especially how I take hits. This helps me do a little bit of damage. But now let's get to how we win the game. So we have Scizor with Shed Shell, which I'll get to in a minute because I hate the fact that I have to have Shed Shell. Technician, Tailwind, U-Turn, Bullet Punch, Protect, with max attack, the 236 speed with a Jolly Nature, and then just the rest thrown in to make optimal HP and stat boosts and things like that. The 236 Jolly Speed is enough to outspeed a Scarfed Zapdos in Tailwind. I believe that's what that is. So with the Tailwind up, if he brings in Zapdos, and even if it's max speed, Scarfed, I can outspeed it and I can U-turn, which would be what I would do. I want to be able to get a Tailwind up and then U-turn out. That's basically what this is for. I have, let's see, Tailwind, and you'll see how exactly Tailwind helps, and the things that I would U-turn into are, of course, the two that I haven't gone over yet. So that's basically all I need to do. Bullet Punch is just another form of priority that I could hit some things with if they start getting set up, if I just need a little bit of chip damage. Just priority is really helpful in this match, so a mixture of Bullet Punch and Sucker Punch on Kecleon, just, it does a good amount. I hate that I have to bring Shed Shell. I want to bring something else, but the fact of the matter is she has the Magnet Zone, and she's going to be able to trap my Scizor in. I have U-turn, but the Magnet Zone outspeeds, and she could very easily bring a Scarfed Magnet Zone. Seeing as my two main offensive threats, especially for this match, are Greninja and Kyurem, neither one of them wants to deal with a Magnet Zone. An electric move on Greninja is no good. Flash Cannon on Kyurem is just no good. So a Scarfed Magnet Zone is is a possibility. So I need to be able to just switch out if need be. Again, I had Protect just to kind of scout for fire moves. I should probably actually change that. I think I'm gonna, I'm just gonna do this on video. I think I want to change Protect to Knockoff. I had Knockoff before, and then decided not to. However, if I change it to this, I don't know what the fourth move might be, because another option would be Aerial Ace for the Virizion. And yeah, I don't really know what else there could really be, but I might change that to Knockoff, and then I'll put like crunch on Scrafty. That way I just have a diverse amount of dark moves. Yeah, Protect was just kind of scout for fire moves, but I think I'm just going to have to scout for fire moves by switching out. I just forgot to change Protect, so it's actually me knockoff as the final move. But yeah, so I need to be able to switch out if she tries to trap me in with Magnezone. And if she does try to do that, like if I have Scizor and she goes directly into Magnezone, that's like a dead giveaway that she has HP Fire, I think. I think she would have Hidden Power Fire, which is great, because then Rotom deals with it even better, because it won't have anything like a Hidden Power Rock or anything like that. So I can, you know, get a free switch into that. And I can just switch things into Magnezone, because I don't want Scizor to just go down for something stupid. But if I can get a Tailwind up, that could potentially be a game winner for me. And that's what we're going to try and do. So next we have Ninja Kermit, the Greninja with a Life Orb, of course has to be Torrent, Scald, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, and Low Kick with max special attack, 148 in speed, and a Naive Nature with 108 HP EVs. So this EV spread is, I need, the 148 speed is to outspeed a max speed Choice Scarf of Virizion in a Tailwind. That's so unlikely to happen, but it's the speed that I need just to be safe. That way, if I get a Tailwind up, this is actually my backup option, or, you know, if things are alive that are stopping Kyurem, and I get a Tailwind up, then Greninja is kind of the option just to kind of take out the rest of the team. With this coverage, I hit basically everything. Scald hits Darmanitan, as well as nothing else really wants to get burned. Ice Beam can hit Virizion, Zapdos, Druddigon, and I guess Oddish if you really want to go there. Dark Pulse hits Musharna, and Low Kick hits Snorlax, because with any special move I just can't do a lot to Snorlax. Low Kick does like 80% to Snorlax or something like that, so it's pretty ridiculous. Low Kick does a lot, maybe it's like 70%, but yeah, so I can do a lot of damage to Snorlax. With a Low Kick, so that's why I brought Naive Nature instead of lowering my attack. I want to be able to keep the attack up as much as I can. So that basically runs through a team. I mean, Low Kick can also hit Magnezone. I have to redo the calc to see if that even does that much, because I don't remember if Magnezone is heavier or not. I feel like it's heavier than I think it is. So we'll have to see. We'll have to do calcs, but I do know that Low Kick is just a good bring. So, yeah, that basically does that. And if I could get a Scald Burn on, like, Feraligatr or something, like, that'd be fantastic. So, we'll have to see. Scald Burns could come in handy with all of her physical attackers. And then, one of my favorite sets that I have brought is going to be Ice Ice the Kyurem, the Choice Banded Kyurem, with max attack Adamant, 116 HP, and 140 speed, with Outrage, Earth Power, Roost, and Toxic. Now, this, the speed is to outspeed a max speed. What is this? This is to outspeed. Does that hit the same speed? No, it doesn't. It's to outspeed something. Max speed. What is this to outspeed? I don't remember. It might be to outspeed a max speed Virizion or something. In a Tailwind or something like that. I don't know if this also outspeeds Scarf Virizion or not, and alright, sorry guys, I had to cut that out, and sorry about all the noise that you probably heard in the background, because my house is never quiet, reasons why I don't record that much anymore, but anyway, so, the thing with Kyurem is Outrage, she doesn't have a Dragon Resist, well, she didn't until she picked up Magnezone. Magnezone is the only thing that can stop a banded Outrage Kyurem. So, and like this is serious, like Choice Band. This Oko's Darmanitan, this Oko's Virizion, this Oko's Zapdos. It has a good chance to Oko Zapdos. If I get like the tiniest bit of chip damage on Zapdos, it dies to an Outrage. That's max HP Zapdos. If it's physically defensive, it'll need a little bit more chip damage. It Oko's Feraligatr, it Oko's 2 Druddigons. I believe it Oko's Snorlax. It comes pretty close to, I think it Oko's Snorlax. Unless it's a physically defensive one, then it might be a roll or something. Magnezone gets OHKO'd by an Earth Power, even with a special attack decreasing nature Earth Power. It still takes out a Magnezone. Outrage obviously OHKO's Liepard. It does 70-80% to Musharna, and Outrage OHKO's Oddish. So you can see the power of Outrage Kyurem. I've never brought physical Kyurem. This is the first time I've ever doing it in my life. but she just doesn't have a stop to it. So if I get a Tailwind up and I U-turn into Kyurem, that's something dies. And hopefully if I wait till I get enough chip damage, it's more than one thing that dies. So Roost and Toxic are just, like, I literally need no coverage. Like, Outrage does everything I need it to. Earth Power hits Magnezone. I don't even know if I'm ever going to be able to use Earth Power because, you know, if I go for, like, I don't think she'll switch in Magnezone right away. However, if I lock myself into Outrage, it's like I kill something, okay, but then she switches into Magnezone, and then she'll be able to take me out, you know. So I can't lock myself into Outrage if Magnezone is still alive. But I don't want to go for Earth Power on just like predicting a switch because I don't think that's going to happen. Roost, I guess if I need it. Toxic, I guess if I need it. Like, I just don't need any coverage, so I just kind of threw moves on there. But the plan is to just outrage her whole team. She doesn't have a stop to it, so I'm interested to see what her plan is. So I don't know. And just with that speed, even if I don't get a Tailwind up, I can still hit a lot of her slower Pokemon. Like, I can still hit Feraligatr, Druddigon, Snorlax, Musharna, and I would outspeed a defensive Zapdos. So I can still outspeed a lot of her stuff, even if I don't get up a Tailwind. So we'll have to see how this match plays out. I think that we have a pretty good chance to win. We need this victory just to ensure that we, you know, don't get relegated or anything like that. So I think this is our best shot to win. The matches after this, I think our team doesn't match up quite as well, but, you know, we'll get to them in future weeks. So let me know what you think about this team. Let me know what you think about our transfers and about our chances in the league and our chances to not get relegated. So just let me know, and I will catch you guys in the battle tomorrow. And that will wrap this up. So thanks for watching, guys, and until the next time, stay aside.